All right, I've still got to do my watch list video. I haven't even looked at charts yet for tomorrow. But I got an email, and so I thought this is just gonna be so much easier to answer via a video. So that's what I'm gonna do here real quick. And the question was simply this: just curious why at the end of the day you said watch NVDA at 220 bucks. I'm just trying to pick your brain on what you were looking at and identify the chart. I'm a chart guy through and through, and I see support more at 216 to 218. Thanks. So I'm going to explain this. And then they went on to say, great call, just great call, damn. Thank you. All right, so I want to explain this. So I'm showing you, anytime I'm showing a chart, if you look up here next to the name, you'll see what time frame. See the arrow there? This is a 5-minute chart. So NVIDIA went from 250 on an intraday basis. This was the opening candle today. From 250 and then just, sells off, takes out the low bounce, and then a huge flush down to whatever, 233, and then another little bounce and another little bounce, and then another flush bounce, and then and then we're getting closer to the end of the day, and it is extremely oversold. And so now I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring in the daily chart here because it's all about, meshing, looking at all time frames. So this is the daily chart as this was forming. So here's 5 minutes intraday. Here's the daily. First thing I'm going to tell you to look at is the daily candles on NVIDIA. Do you see any with this range, this big of a range from the highs to the lows as far as daily candles? You look, I'm not going to do the math, but you might have one here, and I'm going all the way back to June, right? So going back darn near a year on this chart, and you see one. So right now, just by looking at this, you know that this daily candle is way above NVIDIA's normal daily range, right? So that's interesting in and of itself. Couple that with whenever you get, a huge sell-off on an intraday basis where you get wave after wave after wave, and so the stock's fallen very, very far, right, on an intraday basis to take out another clear low on the chart, another clear recent low, and that would have been right here. Bear with me a second. Just glancing at it, I don't have it. I don't have the, let me try to add that real quick. Hang on. Okay, so I added this, the cursor window, whatever they call it. So as I hover over this candle, you can look here and see what the numbers were. So I'm going to hover over this candle, and you can see the low that day was 221.05, I think. I'm getting old. Anyways, it's just barely over 220, right? So now we've got this huge sell-off, huge candle for the day, taking out the most recent low, right? This is a very clear, if you look at the candles, this is a very clear, some might call this a pivot, I don't know, a very clear recent low. So you're extended to the downside. I love this below this candle's low, all right? So that's below 221. Let me double check. I'm going to zoom in here. It's 221.85. So below 221.85, because it's so extended already, a lot of times what you see is this to take out this recent low and then reverse. Now, why 220? Because whole numbers can be really relevant points on a chart anyway. Whole numbers divisible by 10, and this might sound stupid, but it holds true. Whole numbers divisible by 10 are even more powerful. So my thinking was this is going to take out the stops below this low, right? Below the 221.85, and it's going to maybe flush the 220 stops, right? And look what it did. It went down to 219.85, 15 cents below. And then I'm going to get the daily chart off here now. And it looked like this when I was saying, hey, the day's winding down. The only trade I'm really interested in at this point is if NVIDIA takes out 220 looking for a reversal. So then there you go. Then you're getting that extra downside shape, increased volume, makes this even more delectable, if you will. And there you go. It went to 219.85 and then proceeded to bounce $7, I think, from there. Almost $7. So I wanted to explain that in a video because it's just much easier to explain. I'm not sure where you got your 216, what did you say, 216 to 218? I looked on the chart and I was going back and I'm not sure where you got that from. And a lot of times, by the way, another little tip, I will go to 60-minute candles when I know I've got intraday shape, maybe going to take out, support from a while ago. Sometimes when you put it on 60s, you can kind of see how clear that this is way oversold, and if it gets below this candle, it's a great place to look for a reversal, and that's exactly what happened. I just don't see the 216 to 218 unless you mean these two 60-minute spikes down here. But even then, it only got, well, I got to 217.52. So this might be what you were talking about. But always look at the daily candle, okay? And look at how it can be. And this is just stupid extended to the downside. It's the biggest candle you can see, like I said, going back. And this chart's actually going back a year, right? And you still don't see any candle with this range except maybe here in that early February chaos when everything was getting killed. All right, so I knew it was extended. Love looking for a takeout of a recent low and then a reversal. The whole number came into play. As a matter of fact, I think a couple days ago, I mentioned, yeah, it wasn't today, it was yesterday. And I'll go to 5-minute candles there. This was Facebook. And it's just another example of what I'm talking about. Facebook looked like this, and I said, guys, if this gets under 150, great place to look for a reversal. Why? It was already way oversold. Again, there's the daily. You had some consolidation in this area back here, but it was way oversold for 2 days, right? I'll take today's candle out of it. So it already sold off big, and actually it sold off from 185. We all know the Facebook dilemma lately. But then you had this big day and then a massive day. Again, look at the range of this candle compared to anything you see on the chart. So you know it's way ahead of itself, and 150. Whole number divisible by 10. Look what happened. And again, it looked about like this when I said that to everybody, or maybe like this. That if this flushes 150, great place to look for a reversal. Look what happens. Takes out 150. Then it actually went down to 149.25. And look at that. It got a $10 bounce by the end of the day. All right, hopefully that explanation made sense. Shoot me an email back if it didn't. I'm happy to make these little short videos to show you. It's just easier than trying to type this, type this all out. All right, I'm off to make the wrap up or the watch this video for tomorrow. See y'all.